This conference will now be recorded.
Welcome, ASCA members. Tonight is our May conference call of the ASCA Board of Directors. In attendance, I have Ann, Carol, Donna, Denise, Jan, Liz, Susan, and myself, Rick. We will go down a list of agenda items, and we will discuss each one. Each director will have an opportunity to discuss or add comments. And if a motion is required, such motion will be voted on at this time. So the first agenda item is going to be the March 2023 Treasury Report, and that would be Jan.
All right. So the April Treasurer's Report, the beginning balance was $83,341.49. And the ending balance was $51,494.72. If we look at the balance sheet or the profit loss information, we're still seeing that program is up, but most everything else is down except for expenses are coming up. We're not quite seeing the savings on some of the shipping and some of those things that we've done. But you do see a decrease of quite a bit of money there that's reflected. It is showing a higher increase overall, and I believe that's the program income that is creating that. And if we move over to our outstanding bills, there was just a couple items on there. This report was run on the 3rd of the month, and Sarah's out of the office to run one this morning. So I'm assuming these two were paid. You can also see in the Dropbox, there's the balance for the Guarantee Bank, which is the loan, and the amount that's sitting in that account, which its ending balance is $26,543.03. And just a reminder, we do have to maintain a balance in that account. So some of that does have to stay there. I've also included all the credit card and gone through all the receipts, and everything looks good as far as those. Those are also attached in the Dropbox. And the finals fees, if you look at the bottom, you can see that there's been increases in the program and things are going along well. And that particular savings account has $28,957.87. That's the end of April. I think that's all I have. We might need to consider other areas to save so that we can keep moving forward so we can build up our coffers. Is there any questions? If not,
hearing no questions, I would entertain a motion to approve the Treasurer's Report.
This is Donna.
This is Susan. I move to the Treasurer's Report.
Okay, I think I heard Donna first. Susan, would you like to second?
That's perfect. I will.
Okay.
I second.
So we have a motion by Donna and a second by Susan to approve the Treasury's Report, the March 2023 Treasurer's Report. Any final discussion? Okay, hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions?
This is Jan. I will abstain because I prepared the report.
Okay, thank you, Jan. Next on the agenda, number 4 is signatures. I heard the membership asking and discussing why ASCA does not require 2 signatures on all of our checks. I asked Kala to put this on the agenda. After putting it on the agenda, I started thinking about it, and the way ASCA is set up, and the office manager writing the checks, and the treasurer currently residing in the state of Washington, it makes it a little bit difficult to require 2 signatures on a check. But I thought it was worth discussing so the membership knows that we actually did hear them and we did discuss this. So I'd like to go around and see if anybody has any concerns or questions about the way we do it right now, and if you feel like there's a better way that we could be doing this. So, Ann.
While I agree with the concept, I definitely agree that it was practically impractical. I mean, we still do have in the policy book procedures in place in terms of expenses for large expenses, and notifying the treasurer and notifying the president. And so I think that with the QuickBooks and having the information there and being aware of routine bills and being told particularly of significant bills and when they're paid. I know that the treasurer and the president can see things remotely these days. I think that pretty much covers it, but I absolutely recognize the concern and what prompted the concern. Don't think it's practical, but I think we have things in place that kind of do the same purpose. Thanks.
Okay, thanks, Ann. Carol?
Yeah, I understand the spirit of why the question arose, and I think it's a valid question. I agree with Ann that I personally, understanding the checks and balances that are in place, and the fact that the president and the treasurer and are seeing those things, and that the office manager has to have permission, even though one person does sign checks. It's not like they could move money without anybody knowing it. So I feel like we're in a safe place as far as knowing what is actually going on and what's happening. I said I understand the concern, but I said knowing the checks and balances that are in place, I am comfortable with having just one signer. If it wasn't so difficult to have 2 signers, it wouldn't be such a deal, but it is pretty impractical, as Ann said. So I appreciate the question, though. Thank you.
Thank you, Carol. Donna?
I agree. It's a great question, and I think in many situations it's a really good checks and balance. But I would have to agree that in our situation, I do think it's impractical, and I do think that we have recently, just put a lot of things in place. Things are being very, very, very closely monitored at this point. So I would have to agree that I think, with everything that's in place, that I think it is a safe thing that we only have one signature on the checks. That's all I have.
Thank you, Donna. Denise?
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a good idea. I know at one point, our club required 2 people's signature, and it was always a headache because we had the checkbook, but we only had one person. So I would suggest that we only have one person, and like they said, with the checks and balances that are happening now in the office, I think that we're doing fine with only one signature. I think there should be there are more than one signature, right? Though because the president can sign and the treasurer can sign and the office manager. Is that right?
Yes.
So yeah, I think having only one signature is fine. Thank you.
Thank you, Denise. Jan?
I think it's a great idea. It's always challenging. I know one of our clubs, one person just signed the checks and the other one took it and did it. That's not good either. We are monitoring the bills that are coming in, what's going out, evaluating the credit cards. We're looking at all the detailed information. I believe we're watching the things. The situation we got into, that was a contracted amount that the board had said, we're going to do this project. So I believe that bills were being paid the way we expected. And so I think it would cause difficulty and possibly slow things down to have a second signer on it. Thank you.
Thank you, Jan. Liz?
Yeah, great question and understandable. But yeah, I pretty much don't have much to add to what has been said. I agree. Is with our situation, it's just too difficult to do it. Thanks.
Thank you, Liz. Susan?
I agree with everyone has what's already said. It's an impossible situation due to the location, and we certainly don't want to be mailing checks across the country for a second signature with the mail system and the added expense of that. So I understand, yes, in many situations it's pertinent. However, it's not very feasible in our current situation.
Okay, thank you, Susan. And like I said at the beginning, after proposing this question, I kind of thought about it and thought that it doesn't make a lot of sense for us with our setup. Now, if the membership, maybe there's something we're not thinking, and I invite the membership to send us questions regarding this. If there's something worth not thinking about, if we're missing the point, please send us a message. We'll definitely look at it again. But at this point, I don't think it makes a lot of good sense for ASCA right now. So with that, we will move on to number five, and that's the loan remainder. I wanted to discuss right now. There's currently 26,000 and some change in the new Guarantee Bank and Trust account that we took out the loan. And I wanted to discuss, we are required to keep a $10,000 balance in that account, but that leaves $16,000 remaining that we as the board can choose to do with what we feel is best. I know what I feel like is best right now, but I am going to go around and let each director decide, what they feel like is best for that $16,000, and then this board can make a decision how to move forward. I don't think it makes a lot of sense to just leave it sitting in that account. So with that said, I'll go around. Ann?
Yes, originally when I saw that, I was thinking that to add it to the finals fund, thinking, oh yeah, we need that. But I've been very pleased with the amount of deposits and the finals fees that we've been collecting, so I don't think that's too much of an issue. So I mean, the next best thing is to make a $16,000 payment to the bank as principal only towards the loan. And whenever that can be done, it can be done. It'll reduce our principal, it'll change our interest rate, it'll shorten the loan, and it's there. We shouldn't waste it. We need to pay back that loan. That's where it should go. Thanks.
Thank you, Ann. Carol? Carol? Did we lose Carol and Jan? Okay, let's go ahead and move on to Donna.
Yes, I would agree to pay it to the loan. I am all about figuring out how we can get that loan paid off as quickly as possible. So I think that would be a logical thing to do.
Okay, thank you, Donna. Carol, are you back?
I am sorry we lost internet connection.
That's okay.
I I I'm glad we have that extra buffer. I'm not sure. I mean, I see the advantage of paying down the principal, but at the same time, I feel like we might want to hang on to it. I mean, we had quite a drop significantly last month, and so I am feeling good that we are having a lot of activity as far as events, but I would like to maybe, I guess I'm a little more conservative and just maybe let that sit there for a little bit and kind of see how things go before we really designate where it goes. Maybe revisit this in another 30 days. So that's all I have.
Okay, thank you, Carol. Denise?
I would agree with Carol. I don't think that we need to put that money right back into the loan right now because I think we need to make sure that all of our bills continue to be paid on time and allow our coffers to build a little bit before we put all of it back into the loan. I just am a little more conservative about that sort of thing. I'm concerned about the day-to-day things, and we need to have some money building back up so that if we have some other larger expenses that should come up, that we have the money to pay for them. So I would say to leave it maybe 30 days, maybe 60 days. In 60 days, I would think that we would see our finances looking a little bit better because this time of year. And if that's the case, then we can go ahead and put all of it or part of it. But I don't think we should do it right now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Denise. Jan?
Sorry, my computer said no internet. So here I am on Carol's phone. I believe that we should just kind of let it ride for a little while before we do something. We might need it for finals fees. We might need it for bills. I think it should just sit there where it's at until we decide. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Jan. Liz?
Yes, I agree with Carol and Jan. I think and Denise. I think we should leave it alone for a bit. And I think that if we decide to later use it to pay off some of the principal on the loan, we can do that. It's not like we have to do it tomorrow. I think that we leave it there for just a possible rainy day. We don't know uh, if we might need it later on. So yeah, I think that maybe we should revisit maybe like in 60 days and see where the situation is, and then maybe we should be looking at it much better and decide to use it for the principal then. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Liz. Susan?
I agree. Let it ride. Revisit in July. Thank you.
Okay. Uh, I am, I mean, my thinking was to pay this back on the loan. Uh, we didn't borrow this money to let it sit in an account. We borrowed this money to pay off the inventive loan. At the time we borrowed this amount, we wasn't exactly sure what we were going to be able to negotiate with Inventive. So that is the reason for the extra money that's now sitting in our account. I feel like that the quicker we get this loan paid off, the quicker that we do not have to deal with this hanging over our head. Uh, I personally don't like it. I thought it was necessary to get past this Inventive situation, but having the money just sitting there, I guess my thinking is we get this loan paid off. If we get in a situation where we need to borrow money again, this bank is going to be more than happy to extend that olive branch to us and work with us in the future. And that's what we need. This is a small local bank. It is not a Chase. And these people, ASCA needs this type of relationship with a banking institution that we can go to if we need them in the future. So I, pretty much agreed with Ann and Donna. I'd like to see this go back and be paid off on the principal now. We don't just need to leave it sitting there, just hoping that maybe we'll use it one day. But it sounds like the majority of the board would like to let it ride for another 30 to 60 days. And if that's what the board would like to do, I'm okay with it. I'm definitely will be watching that account and making sure that that money is not used fraudulently. Uh, Unless somebody wants to make a motion now, uh, I was set to make a motion, but I feel like I am in the majority. So I'm just going to throw it back out to the board. If everybody is wanting to let this ride for another 30 to 60 days, we can definitely revisit this at that time. I feel like our operating count has been fairly stable for the last 4 to 5 months. We have stayed in this 75 to $85,000 range, and I don't see it changing. But that's, like I said, that's just my opinion. So, if anybody would like to change their mind, please do it now. If not, we'll just let it ride for another 30, 60 days and revisit it and go on to the next agenda item.
It would be changing my mind to let it ride for 30, 60 days, but I'm okay with that. I mean, especially because it was in my mind, it was a question of finals funds. So I think in 60 days, in July, we'll have a much better picture of where we're at in terms of where that due. So I'm okay to letting it sit, but I absolutely would like to revisit it and preferably get whatever amount we can to pay towards the loan balance. Thanks.
This is Liz, Rick. I think that why couldn't we make it like a standing item on the agenda for every month, and we could look at the whole situation, and then maybe in 30 days we'll be ready to go ahead and do it. I think at least for me, it's just a matter of being cautious more than anything, because I do agree we want to get rid of this loan as soon as possible. But, and you are right that this was a loan to pay Inventive and not anything else. But I would feel more comfortable, is what I'm saying is I would feel more comfortable if we talk about it again next month. Thanks.
Okay, hearing no other discussion item, we'll go ahead and just move on to the next agenda item, which is the ASCA insurance. I took the liberty to work with a insurance agent here that has given us some different options for a new plan for 2023. That those options have been sent out to the membership. We've had a few questions answered. Those questions have been answered. I have been upfront with the membership on trying to reduce our cost. We are able to do it by $20,000 by changing insurance for 2023, going with the Chubbs group instead of our current insurance company right now. We did get a new quote from our current insurance company, and it pretty much stayed the same to what we've been paying past years. So my recommendation is to go with the new company. I think it's good that we look at this every 2 to 3 years anyway, to look at the different options we might have. This just goes to show you we could have stayed with our current insurance company and not known any better and paid another $56,000. But we did do the research. We did go out and find a better plan. And this is a no better time for ASCA to save another $20,000 in going with a new insurance company. I would like to make a motion that we accept the new insurance proposal by the Chubbs Group and for 2023. Who was that?
I'll second it. It was Carol first.
Okay, Carol, thank you. So I'd like to, like I said, make that motion that we accept that new 2023 insurance proposal by the Chubbs Group, and we move forward with a new insurance company for the next year. And I'll open it up to discussion. Ann?
Because I was the one who asked a zillion questions about it just to get everything straight. I am really clear in my mind that this is absolutely the best choice for ASCA. The downside, as people saw, as affiliates not being able to get that liability insurance, actually, like we've been saying for years and years and years and years, like when the affiliates get that, it's not actually what they think they're getting. They're only really getting for like the facility. And it's, so I think that based on the fact that I just got insurance for my affiliate club in less than a week, and based on the fact that it's going to save ASCA $20,000+, and based on the fact that we actually are getting a little bit better coverage, and that I am satisfied because I asked a zillion questions, and thank you, Rick, for channeling, for getting answers to all of those. I was being rather a pain. It absolutely is the best choice for ASCA. Thanks.
Thank you, Ann. Carol?
So I agree also that it is the best choice for ASCA. The coverage is better. We're saving a significant amount of money. I think people that voiced concern did not understand that what they thought they had was not what they had. And so I really appreciate the work you did on this, and that you found this, and that you went to great lengths to get all the questions answered. So thank you very much for that. And I'm totally in favor of going with this company. I think it's an awesome thing. And again, thanks for all the work you did on it. That's all I have.
Thanks, Carol. Donna?
Yes, I want to thank you too, Rick, for all the time that you've put into this. I know it was a big project, and I am 100% in favor of it. It's great coverage, and the savings is significant. And I also agree, the affiliates getting their own insurance is just going to be way better for the affiliates, because then they will have much better coverage on their end also. So I think in the end, it's a win-win for everybody.
Thank you, Donna. Denise?
I would agree that the insurance company seems to be a better way to go with its coverage and with the savings. And I do appreciate what you've done too, Rick, with that. And I would encourage the other affiliate clubs to get their own insurance policy, because we've known for years that it doesn't cover ASCA members, it covers the facility. And so we really don't have insurance for ourselves through that old policy, as I interpret it. But anyway, so yes, I say that. And if any clubs need information about what kind of coverage or what kind of company to go to, is there a way they can contact the ASCA office for referrals to companies, or they can check with other affiliates to find out what company they use and what they pay? It doesn't sound like it's a lot of money. So thank you, and I approve of this policy.
Thank you, Denise. Jan?
I think this is going to be a win for everyone, because our clubs, our affiliates are going to be more covered and have insurance that they can work with. Sportsman's is a good one. I know on the Facebook group, they listed another company that was out there. Some of the local insurance companies also provide good insurance. So it's just a research process that will just better cover them for all their events that they're doing. Thank you, Rick, for taking the time to do this. We might need to have a reminder every couple of years that we should review the insurance. So maybe Kala, if you could add a little buzz in your list of reminders for us that we spend time and get additional quotes. I support going with the Chubb.
Thank you, Jan. Liz?
Yes, thanks, Rick, for all the research, and I support this. And I think maybe what we could do is add this to the strategic plan so that it's there to look it over every 3 years. That way, nobody will forget. That's one way that we can get around the reminder. So yes, I'm in favor. Thanks.
Thanks, Liz. Susan?
I don't have anything to add other than thank you for taking the initiative to do the research and get this policy. And yes, I
Okay, thank you, Susan. I think you cut out. We lost the last of it. But I was glad to do this for ASCA. I guess I could say to our members that I would be more than happy to put you in touch with the agent that I used to work on these quotes for us. I mean, she did a tremendous job. She answered all of our questions and was totally right. I mean, she was sending question after question after question. And I sent it to this lady, and she got back to me within hours on all of our concerns. And can she work on affiliate insurance? She might. I've never really approached that to her, but I would definitely put any affiliate in contact with her, and let's see what she can put together for you guys. Because if she was able to do it for ASCA, I would like to hope that maybe she could do it for the affiliates too. So she's a hard worker. She's out there busting her tail, and she really helped ASCA. So if there's no other questions, I will call for a vote. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, thank you, board. I truly appreciate it. This is definitely going to help ASCA and help us build our coffers a little bit quicker by saving $20,000 plus at least for the next year.
And that's payments on a monthly basis now instead of a bulk, right?
That is correct. We will be able to make monthly payments instead of making a one-time
Right, that's great.
$50,000 payment. Yes.
Good job.
Next on the agenda is the systems liaison report. Jan?
Yeah, the IT committee is working to get all up to speed. They're working to move all the ASCA ownership of into the Confluence, the Gyro, all that. Working with the computer company to make sure we have all that documentation, and that's been appears to be going pretty smoothly. They're looking at trying to streamline things, um, making sure there's um, documentation of how things should be processed. We had that one motion that we are dealing with, and that's in front of us. And I believe they're going to be bringing more to make sure that things are run in a fluid fashion. They are researching the costs for analyzing of the system to see what it needs, what is complete, what is in there. They are beginning to build procedures going forward, trying to do workarounds so that we can give the more service to the members, and so that they can and making sure that there's no backdoors open in the system. They're also researching companies for future work and support so that we have that possibility. They're also looking into membership renewals, because right now membership are not getting renewals. So you need to pay attention, because you get locked out of the portal if you don't renew before it goes. So that's my and that one's a little more complicated, making sure people pay the right amount that is requested. So they've definitely been discussing and working on that. And they've been reviewing the strip paying service. That is all I have on the systems. They seem to be working well together. I know they meet some privately, and they're meeting every Wednesday night, unless they're all busy. Thank you.
Thank you, Jan. We'll go around right quick and see if anybody has any questions. Ann?
I just wanted to say that I am so impressed with what they are doing, and so impressed with the meetings and the reports and the clarity, especially Claire Thomas, who is the chair. They are working so hard and getting stuff done to try to figure out and to try to get stuff to move forward for ASCA. And so I just wanted to commend them, because I am like so happy and so impressed with what they're doing. Thanks.
Okay, thanks, Ann. Carol?
I agree. I don't have any questions. I am totally impressed with what they're doing, and I really appreciate it on behalf of everybody, and commend them on their work. So if Jan can pass that along, that would be great. Thank you.
Thank you, Carol. Donna?
Yes, I agree. Like it's crazy. Reading all the emails, they're amazing. They're a great team, and I think that it just feels like they're making really, really good headway on everything, and they just have a passion and a heart for our club and for going forward and fixing the situation. They're like very committed to going forward and figuring it out and making things right. And I just feel really good that it's a very positive thing. And please, Dan, do tell them from all of us how much we appreciate them.
Thank you, Donna. Denise?
I would agree with everything that people have said. I'm really thankful that we have members that are and were willing to step up and help out in a crisis situation like that. And going forward, I just hope that, you know, when we have hard times, regardless of what they are, that the membership will use their talents to help out by offering. So thank you to the committee. And I know we all really appreciate it. I'm very thankful for their talent. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Denise. Jan, I'll skip you for a little bit. Liz?
Yeah. Yes. I have no questions, but I agree with everyone else. I've been looking and reading the messages in the group list of the IT committee, and they're just working very, very hard for ASCA. And I really appreciate everything that they're doing, especially since this was not something that was very easy to get into in at this time. So I really appreciate everything that they're doing. Thanks.
Thank you, Liz. Susan?
Yeah, I would just absolutely agree with what has been said about the appreciation toward this group of people and their willingness to serve this organization. None of us want to see this organization fail, and I think that this group of individuals has definitely shown that we have members out there who definitely care and want to make sure that this organization thrives in the future. And just, Jan, please share with them all of our appreciation toward all of their work. Thank you.
Thank you, Susan. And I'll just add, I agree with what everybody has said. Claire Thomas has done an amazing job and put in a lot of hours trying to figure out where this committee is going, what they're supposed to be doing. We have spoken with Inventive. They have been very forthcoming about transferring all of the necessary passwords, all of the documentation, everything over to us. So, and Claire has done an amazing job, and kudos to the whole committee because I think we got a great bunch here. Jan, I'll let you finish out the comments on this.
I will share all your comments with them. I didn't mention that the sanctioning has gone up on the front end of the website, and they are asking for input from the membership. And I know some of you have posted to them, but they're looking at, more ideas so that people can do things in that front end. And yes, they're doing a great job and been great to work with. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Jan. I'm just going to make a quick comment. I know Denise is in Austria right now, and it's like 3:30 in the morning. Uh, Locally here, it's 9:27.
It's actually 4:27. That's not a
Oh,
problem.
okay. All right.
This is a
Well,
good reason to be up.
I just want to, try to move this on as quick as we can. It is locally 9:28 Texas time, and Kyla has informed me that she has to get off by 10 o'clock. So we've had kind of a lengthy discussions, but I would like to just kind of get through these last three items and kind of go move forward. Confirmation and junior entry forms. Liz, this is yours.
Okay, I'll make this short. I move that we revise or modify the motion that we previously approved regarding this trial period from June 1st to October 1st, when affiliates are not going to be required to send the entry forms with the results. We need to modify it so that that won't uh, basically modify it so that the confirmation entry forms and the junior forms are still sent. because we found out that the breeder judge qualifications, the entry forms are used to verify the handler, and also the junior entry forms are needed to verify their information. And that's probably not going to change. So I move to modify that motion to say that the affiliates will not be required to send entry forms except for confirmation and junior entry forms.
I second. It's Susan.
Okay. So we have a motion by Liz and a second by Susan to modify our past motion that it will now be required for all confirmation and junior confirmation entry forms to be sent back to the ASCA office along with your sanctioning paperwork. Is that correct, Liz?
With the results, yeah.
With the results, yes. Is there any comments?
I have one quick thing that I agree with this. I'll vote yes on this, but I think I would like to look in the future after our transition period if we can find some other way, like a single form to submit this, especially for juniors, to get the information that the entry forms would serve on just one form. But that's in the future, but that's just something that I think we should maybe look at.
Okay, thank you, Ann. Any other comments? Okay, thank you, everybody. Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor?
I
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, Liz, your motion passes. So we'll go to number 9, which is national specialty sites. Liz, do you
Yep.
have any updates for us on that?
Yes, I do. I sent a comparison chart that the NAC prepared for the Winnemucca and Bakersfield sites. So you should have seen that in the drive. At this point, actually, as we speak, Renee and Rachel are in Virginia. They will be visiting a site over there in Virginia tomorrow. And I believe that what Renee thinks is that we could wait until they're finished with the Virginia site to make any definite decisions, since we already have the 23 in Texas and the 24 in Nebraska. We have a little leeway so that we can make any changes in the next month, depending on what they find. So that I'm not going to make any motions, given that that was the um, what Renee told me. So, but we are getting more information. We are trying. The NAC is trying very hard to compare the sites and give the board as much information as possible so that the more educated decision can be made. That's it.
Okay, thank you, Liz. Thank you for the update. We'll go around quickly to see if there's any discussion regarding this. Ann?
I agree that getting the information from the visit today in Virginia would be great, and I would love for both the board, obviously, and also the membership to see that comparison chart, which we have seen between Bakersfield and Winnemucca and then Virginia, to add in their data. And so still something to evaluate, and yes, I would like to revisit it at future board meetings, but this is all good information to have. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Ann. Carol?
I just want to say that I agree that we should wait until we get all of the information and then have a future discussion. I'm glad that they're looking at a site in Virginia, and it'll be interesting to get all the information. That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Carol. Donna?
I would agree to wait. I think definitely we are in a huge need of a eastern site. So I'm really hoping that Virginia comes through and it will work out for us. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you, Donna. Denise?
I know that Rachel and Renee are really excited about the Virginia site. I certainly hope it works because I know how much energy that we have given to searching for a more eastern site. And the three questions were always right at the top is, are the dates available? Is it affordable? And does it meet our needs? And it's often very easy to check off at least one of those questions, and then it makes that site ineligible. So I'm really excited about the Virginia. I'm glad that Laura submitted that comparison chart. However, I also submitted a letter or some notes to the board, more on the Bakersfield site, because I think that there are a lot of hidden sources of income in Bakersfield that are not available in Winnemucca, and a lot of amenities available there too, but we can discuss that at a later time. And I'm just really excited about Virginia. So that's all.
Thank you, Denise. Jan?
I'm good with waiting, seeing about this Virginia site so that we can head east. It's been a lot of years since we've been back there. It'd be, if it was 25, it'd be 10 years. I believe we need to rescind a motion that the board made last month where it says where we're going in 25 and 26. So nobody's really agreed with that.
Oh.
And I believe that motion needs to be rescinded or changed so that we know we are waiting for 25. And then I think we really need to look at a hard look at Winnemucca as one of the Western choices, just so we're not all the way on the West Coast. I believe our sites in the West and the East, if we can get them a little bit inland, so it's more available to more areas, is going to be beneficial for ASCA in the long run. And trying a new facility, and if we decide it doesn't work, we can go on. And the possibilities of income at this site, I've researched a lot of them, and it was unbelievable how many times that everybody involved said, we'll make it happen if that's what you need. So, and we'll negotiate prices if that's too high. And whatever you want, we will take care of. You want us to pull this out, we'll take it out. I counted about 16 restaurants when I drove through town the other day. I've been to the site twice. I have not charged ASCA to see the site. There were times that I was driving near or around that area. And I just think it should be a consideration. But my priority is to go to the east. Thank you.
Thank you, Jan. Liz, I will skip you for a second. Susan?
Yes, I'm good with us holding off any decisions until we have all the information from the Virginia site. I am too very hopeful that we can get to the East Coast, and everybody, all of our members on the East Coast deserve the same opportunities that anybody on the West Coast does. And it's our turn. We need to go back east so that those folks have the opportunity to not have to drive for 3 days to get across the country to go play at nationals or participate in finals. So I will be very anxiously awaiting the results of this visit. Thank you.
Thank you, Susan. And I agree as well. I'd love to get back to the East Coast. That would be awesome for the membership. There's a ton of people that have just been waiting for us to bring it back to closer to to their side of the country. So I am all for it. I just hope and pray that Renee and Rachel come back with some good news and make it feasible for ASCA. That is the hardest thing for, I believe, that everybody to understand is it's not that we do not want to go to the East Coast. It's definitely not, but it's got to be feasible for ASCA. We got to be able to afford it. And I'm looking forward to some great news from them. And I agree, let's hold off a little bit and then we can make some adjustments. Mentioning what Jan said about rescinding some motions. If we need to do that at a later time, we can definitely do it. But we've got to find a site and we got to be able to make it affordable for ASCA and everybody that's putting on this event. So, Liz, I'll let you close out this topic.
All right. Yes, I think that once we have all the information, we can make the decisions. We can then at the same, well, before we actually make another decision, we can rescind the motion. We can all do it at the same time. Once we have all the information that we need. And yes, the eastern sites, we need to be able to afford it. It's really complicated. It's not as easy as people think to put on a nationals, and the requirements for a site are rather complex. So I'm also hoping that there's going to be good news. So until then, we should speak about this again.
Okay, thank you, Liz. And moving on to our last agenda item for the evening is last month's email business. I would entertain a motion to approve last month's email business.
I
This,
second. Thank you.
this is Anne. I'll put forth a motion to approve last month's email business.
Okay, thank you, Ann. And Denise, did you second?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So we have a motion by Ann and a second by Denise to approve last month's email business. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any
Aye.
opposed? Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, that motion passes. I just wanted to pass on to the membership. Thank you for spending your time listening to our meetings. This means a lot. And if you guys have any comments, please don't hesitate to get back with us. I do have, to me, it's a pretty major announcement that I want the membership to know. We received notification the beginning of the week that one of our ASCA employees, Misty, who handles all the confirmation and obedience in the ASCA office, has turned in her resignation. She is moving on. She has found growth for her and her family, and she has found another opportunity. We need to all wish her well. With that being said, if anybody would like to bring your talents to Texas and join this ASCA team in the ASCA office, there is no better resource than to reach out to our membership and try to fill this position with somebody that is knowledgeable and already knows our programs. So it's something to think about. Misty will be leaving us. I believe her last day is a week from tomorrow, May 26th. So there will be some big shoes to fill, probably some heartache along with that. But as always, ASCA as a family, we will work together. We will get through this. So, with that being said, we'll end this meeting tonight. I appreciate everybody's time, and we will see you guys next month. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Aye.
No.